And now here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Here, talk some hip hop. We got Justin Hunte. Got 3 stories we're gonna try to get through and take phone calls. What we got first?
What up, Jude? Yeah. First up, Nore was a guest on the I Am Athlete podcast. This is a podcast that's hosted by NFL pros Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, Channing Crowder, Jared Odrick. Now, Nore from Drink Champs, Nore,
Yeah.
also from Capone Noriega, the platinum selling artist. His solo debut album, Nore, N-O-R-E, came out in 1998. And he claims in this podcast that he was the hottest rapper in hip hop in 1998. Here's a clip, and then we'll break it down.
All right, let's hear.
You were talking about not being on Ballers.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about not getting,
Yeah, put it like this. I got paid later in life, but I didn't get paid as an owner, which right now I'm getting paid as. So if I get paid as an artist right now, and I'm used to getting paid as an owner, I'm looking like, what a dickhead I was at 18, at 21. Like I was the hottest rapper in the world. I could have held out, but I wanted $1 million.
I don't want to steal your thunder and keep clapping, but you really just said you was the hottest rapper.
I was.
I ain't gonna keep clapping.
In 1998,
like,
what was it? Me, DMX, Big Pun, Cameron.
And you was the hottest?
I was the hottest at the time I signed. At the time I signed.
Talk to him.
At the time I signed, I was the hottest.
Right.
And I sold, other than DMX, I sold the most on my first week. DMX did 220, I did 163, plus other 18,000 that they pre-sold from me because they bootlegged it and they still counted it. Well, make some noise for that.
Yeah.
I got one more question.
All right, so that's the clip right there.
Well, first off, everybody bootlegged. Any store was selling on Friday. Your shit, you were getting your shit fucking bootlegged. Give me a list of who dropped and what albums came out in 1998, Justin. And
he mentioned DMX. So DMX had 2 #1s that year. It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. I think to me, it's clear DMX is the biggest rapper that year. I have to take issue with Nore when it comes to these next few artists, right? Also in 1998, Jay-Z, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, Volume 2.
I wasn't crazy about that album. I wasn't crazy. I didn't think it was that great, but okay, yeah.
It sold 354,000 first week and went gold in 2 weeks, right? That at that point in time, that had only happened twice. That would have only happened with the Beastie Boys' Hello Nasty album,
right,
and Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which also came out that year.
Right. Okay. All right.
Outkast Aquemini came out that year, sold 227 first week, and debuted at #2.
That was my favorite Outkast album.
And I'm just gonna drop this because I like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Busy Bone dropped that year too. Heaven's Movie that did 130,000. That's less than Nore. But the point is, there's a lot of artists. There's a handful of artists that have sold more than Nore's N-O-R-E album. And I'd argue, outside of Super Thug the single, all those albums had a bigger impact than Nore's debut album.
And
maybe not Busy Bone.
Rough Rider Anthem was fucking a monster. Like the video was so crazy. Like that was just a monster. You would play that at the fucking club.
Right.
Like, it was. So I think even that kind of he outdid him on the single too.
That Super Thug was huge because that was one of the Neptune's first really big breakout tracks.
Right. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
So that was huge.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it bigger than Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z? Not the album, but the song. That song was everywhere too with the Annie sample.
Yeah, really, that shit tickled me to death that like gangsters are singing along to a gay ass musical. Fucking funny. Right. I was like, musicals are fucking, who goes to them.
And then Outkast had Rosa Parks and Scoot on the Barbie with Raekwon. That was a big collaboration between New York and Atlanta.
Well, I just felt that that whole album like was put together in it was a complete album. Like it was a complete album. And DMX's albums were really fucking complete albums as well. Like front to back. Like you could just they made sense and you could play them. It's kind of shitty. It's not fair. Like DMX is passed, so DMX can't even like weigh in on this one. But we both voted DMX. Nore did his thing. Don't get me wrong. Like Nore did his thing. Came out when Capone went away and came out on his own and fucking did his fucking shit. And he did qualify it too. He was the biggest signing at that time. I don't know who else was signed, so I can't rebut it or co-sign it. So perhaps he was the biggest signing at that time. I'm not sure.
I just think it's a weird way to phrase it. You know, okay, he said he was the biggest artist in the world. He said when he signed. Well, he was huge on the War Report with Capone and Noriega. That's a classic, underground classic. If you haven't heard it, punch yourself in the face. And you know, it definitely made its impact. But even that to me gets a little revisionist history, maybe. But no shots, no shade at Nore. I mean, that Nore was definitely one of my favorite albums that year.
Hey, look, if you ain't gonna toot your own horn, like no one else is gonna toot it for you. So like I don't blame him for saying he was the hottest rapper out there. So there you go. And he wasn't even drunk. Or he wasn't even drinking. He's fucking said that shit. Like, yeah, fucking A. 888-742-3345. We'll take a couple calls. Anybody agree with Nore? John, pull up the calls.
All right, let me stop this and bring it over.
All right.
That's our best bet right now.
All right, let's go. Line 2.
Jay Spalding.
Jay Spalding, Chicago.
Yo, what up, man?
You got it.
How y'all feeling today?
Awesome. What would you like to say?
Man, bro. Well, if we're talking about this Noriega thing, bro, Noriega was the hottest artist at that time. If we really want to, we got to think about Super Thugs. Nobody even knew about Neptunes at that time like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, this guy really did have the whole thing. And then after that, he did the Oh No. You remember that, right? You remember that Oh No, what up? Oh, you remember that?
Yeah.
It was right after Super Thug. I want to say like a few years after that. You know what I'm saying? And then on that same album, he had this song called Sometimes. Y'all remember Sometimes by Noriega?
No.
If we really hip hop heads, we will know Sometimes. So I would suggest y'all.
Well, you said that
right now.
You're no, we're not taking requests. Especially
you never heard Sometimes.
Well,
no, you're good. You're good. But I would want to throw it out there.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, bro. He said that year, and you're like talking about different years. Like you already broke the rules.
He had the Posse Cut Banned from TV was huge. That was on the Nore.
Banned from TV was on Jay-Z, I believe.
No, that was on the Nore joint.
It might have been on. Was it on Nore?
Yep.
Someone look it up. Just
that Banned from TV. Nore was on the title track.
Oh yeah, that shit. Jay-Z was on the Reservoir. Jay-Z had Reservoir Dogs. My mistake. Yeah, that shit was fucking dumb hard.
Yeah.
They used the 2001 Space Odyssey sample and fucking crushed that shit. Let's see, King B.
What's good?
All right, go ahead.
You know, I don't think he was the hottest, but he was the most anticipated at the time. He had been on the Firm album. People were ready. Super Thug came out, and that album was the most anticipated at the moment. He didn't have the hottest album, but he was the most anticipated.
All right. He said hottest.
I think DMX was pretty anticipated.
Yeah. yeah, especially after going nuts on his first album. The second album that year was anticipated.
And after what he did on the Locks records.
And when I went to go see him and Jay-Z opened for DMX. So at Joe Louis in Detroit. So we'll go to the mortgage lady in New York. Go ahead.
Hey Jude, what's up? It's the mortgage lady. How are you?
Awesome. What would you like to add to this?
Nore's full of fucking shit. I mean, I grew up in that era and he was good and everything. And he is actually one of my favorites, but he definitely wasn't on that type of time. He's more like the French Montana of our time. And so I just can't agree with that. He's not even in the top 3 of the Jay, Biggie, and Nas. Like, he needs to slow it down. And he definitely needs to stop hating on Max B. Yeah, I mean, he could talk that year, but I lived it. I was there, and it wasn't. Cam was better than him. I mean, come on. Don't disrespect the legends like that. And Nore's good, but he's a drunk. And no disrespect. His music's all right, but like I said, he was like the French Montana of our time. It wasn't nothing, he's just not, he just not, no. And
all right. Dump these calls. We're going on to the next subject with Justin